We ready? Yep. All right, we'll call the meeting to order for the Angola Board of Works Monday, June 1st. May I have a roll call, please?
Member Martin?
Here.
Member Olson?
Here.
Member McDermott?
Present.
Press approval of the February 2nd minutes.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, request approval of stormwater grant application for 1108 Manahan Drive that was attached to the agenda. Amanda, would you like to give us a real quick overview of what we're doing?
Well, Nancy's actually here, the property owner, so.
Nancy, would you like to, please?
So I've only lived in this home since December of '24, and I noticed the first spring, water was accumulating at the bottom of the hill, which prevented me from taking my dog outside, cutting the grass in the spring when it got long enough, which caused me to pay a little bit more money for lawn care and things like that, something I do myself. Well, this year with all the rain, as we know, it's been horrible. I had concrete poured last year. I did put drain tile in all along the house and under the concrete, which I thought maybe that would prevent some of this problem. It didn't. It actually needs drain tile put right at the end of the hill, all the way across. I had two estimates, which I'm sure you have copies of, and they seem to think that they can slow that process down because it comes right up to my concrete now, because I had a 16 by 24 pad poured out there. So it comes right up to the edge. So in the spring, when we have that thaw and that freeze, my concern is basically it might crack my concrete over time. And I paid a lot of money for that out there, and I would like to try to prevent that as much as I can. And the only thing that I think can be done is this, what he has suggested.
Okay, and Amanda has walked you through the requirements of the program so you understand
Yes.
how the whole program works?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Any of the members have any questions?
Is there a fix, is the drainage of the road, isn't it? Or is it in her yard?
It's in her backyard is where she's having the issue.
Well, according to the application, it says it's due to the street behind not having proper drainage.
Well, because of the water and the,
I'm talking. Isn't that our problem?
The street behind, which is Broad Street, sits up at a much higher elevation.
So it's just a.
So Broad Street's homes' backyards all flow into their backyards, and it all just sits in the backyards. There's really no storm infrastructure back there to do anything with it. We have very limited city infrastructure along Manahan. So what's being proposed really is kind of the best fix for what we have out there, which is just putting in some small tiles that can kind of hold the water, let the rain stop, let it get back and percolate into the ground.
I understand your issue. Are there other people along that road going to have the same issue?
Yes.
they do.
So, my question, what would it cost us to fix it? I mean, put a drainage tile along there, the whole
It would
thing.
be the city choosing to do work on private property for private issues.
Are we doing this here?
This is a grant that they can apply for that we do like a 50-50 grant. So it's just like the facade grants in the downtown that the city participates on private infrastructure. It's a similar grant versus just the city going on private property and doing work, which is.
Right, because I know in my situation, my neighbor and I had to put the tile in ourselves. But this is a street issue. So can we anticipate, to be honest, every person along Broad Street's coming in and saying, we'd like to have the same assistance?
You could. It'd be along Manahan, not along Broad.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you could tell your friends that.
Well, and that was when I first contacted you two, that was my first thought, is this sounds like a city problem. When they built these homes here, they did not take into consideration that the drainage would come down these hills into this area, because it's quite a big steep there. And I thought that, and then she offered the grant, and I thought, well, a little help is better than no help at all. But that's exactly my first thought, because I've only been a homeowner in this area for a very short time. But my neighbors they both have rivers in their backyards. The one to my left is actually pretty bad itself.
See, I always joke at these meetings that there's 3 ponds in the city, it's in my backyard.
Yeah.
So that's why we put that in, so.
Definitely.
I mean, this is the best we can do.
For me, this is the only opportunity we can give. I cannot approve spending city money on private property. I'm not an elected official. You like that?
That was very,
Very well.
who'd you have for government?
But an elected official can bring up an ordinance perhaps, can bring it up.
How many houses are we talking?
3, 4?
At least 3, well, 4 if you want to get to the cul-de-sac and then drain it out, because that's where the city added a drain in the street to try and get it further down the street when the water would collect at the cul-de-sac.
There are some that are worse than others, and she's one of the worst. You take it out of her yard, it'll also help the others. I think.
I mean, I love my house. The reason why I bought it is because I want to be in this neighborhood for a long time. Hopefully retire right there. But this is a major issue.
So can I'm putting you on the spot. How much would it cost to do the whole?
If the city went and put city infrastructure and acquired easements,
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the easement. That's the best, right?
50, 60,000 easily.
Wow. And she's asking for 62.
Well, she asked half of that.
Well, yeah, and then assume the neighbors are gonna do the same thing if they would. So we're talking 9,000 eventually, 10,000 on our side.
My guess is not all
Agreed.
of them last.
I think that's the best we can do. What you think?
Now, but I think it also we need to keep in the back of our head that we may have to bite the bullet and do that for the constituents on Manahan. Eventually.
Let's try that. I think you try this first. Because where do you live? Or in relation to her?
Yes, I live next door.
Next door?
And I've lived there since 96.
Sure.
And the problem was there when 96. I put my own drain system in. I've had a sump pump in there for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And it was already on the property line and it took care of my property. And then the first house right on McKinley Street, all his rainwater dumped right down on mine. And I collected it, I put it out the street. And when I started this whole thing, I stopped before it got to the street, you know, and people would call the water department, said there was a leak out of the ground. So I went over the sidewalk and it comes out just before the curb and it pumps the water. But my pump failed this winter and I put in 2 new pumps now. And up until a week ago, it was still pumping water. Now it's dried up. And that's usually what happens. But again, I've seen it in wintertime, when there's no snow on the ground, you see water freezing coming out of the ground halfway up the hill. So, I mean, there's still water, and that's the normal drainage all the way down to that swamp that's way down there on the other side of Mill Street. Everything wants to go that way. So, but yeah, and I didn't know that there was a grant available. I called Dave Diltz, and he's had the city out there looking as the best way to get rid of it. I don't know who they were, because she's not aware that he was there, but he's never given me a quote because he realizes the issues and worked with the city a long time. So I'm still waiting for Dave Diltz to get back to me.
I guess I'm gonna have to have your name and your address for the record.
Pardon?
Could I have your name and the?
Yeah, David Halleck, Haluch.
And you live?
1112 Manahan Drive.
No?
I will say, as you're discussing this, of the 2 quotes, both of us feel that the JL Brown excavating is the better quote. So if you're throwing out dollar amounts, which is the $68.50.
Oh, fine. Well, I suppose, do you believe, that if we do this, it would potentially alleviate some of the other problems on the other properties? It's gotta go downhill, she's at the bottom.
Potentially, it will not make it worse. Whether it will solve the problem,
It won't solve the
No,
problem. I was
but it-
told that.
it'll help it for sure.
It'll dry up a little quicker once the rain stops.
And I think we tried this. Let's,
Entertain a motion.
Can I say one more thing?
Certainly.
The solution that was presented to her still requires a salt pump. Dave Dilts was looking at getting the drainage low enough that it wouldn't require a salt pump, that it would just naturally drain to the street and the water would get out. I mean, it goes all the way around the corner. I mean, everything comes from the top of Power Street, Broad Street comes down in there. So,
I mean, mosquitoes are an issue,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. That's what I'm noticing, you know, as it's drying up. I mean, mosquitoes are really bad out there, so.
right. So Mr. Mayor, the question I have on my motion is, do you want a motion that suggests we give it to a particular contractor, or you just want who's responsible?
I would match half of the bid that Amanda's recommending.
Yeah, the grant allows for 50% match.
So we're approving the grant,
Yes, I think
we're
if
not
you just
approving the contractor.
approve the grant, then that will allow her to move forward with her work.
Half of the quote,
Yes.
or
You
up
know
to
what we're
half,
talking about?
because you have to
Just get this
submit.
figured out, whatever.
They have to submit
The motion would be to
invoices
approve the grant.
and proof of payment and all of that, yes.
I make that motion. I'll second.
Okay, motion second, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, department head report, clerk.
Can I have one question? How long do you think it's gonna take?
To actually do the work,
Yeah.
or to do the work, not real long, to get the contractor there.
Could you come back and see us in 6 months?
Absolutely.
Or at least tell Amanda how things are going, so we can have a clue if things are working out?
Yeah, I sure can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Glenn?
Nothing for me, ma'am.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Teresa? No.
No report.
Jeff?
No report.
Mitch? Or Amanda?
Nothing.
Chance, speak now. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but you better have something for us. I'll take that as a no. We have any other business this evening? Next meeting will be Monday, July 6th. We are adjourned. In 2 minutes, we'll start the council.